says I'm live. Let's see. It was said I was live a minute ago too, and I wasn't. I've been dealing with this for like 5 minutes now. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this. Anyway. Hi guys. If you can see me. Yes, you can. Look, I can see myself. I couldn't see myself before. All right, good to see you guys. How's it going? Why would a changeling shoot its own pot? So there would be no residue that could be scanned. I don't know. Hi guys. Back for a first reaction, which I do not want to do at all. Just totally not in the mood or the headspace to do this right now. But I'm going to, because it was a fantastic episode. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So let's hear what you guys are saying in the chat. Changeling story has ended now. I mean, maybe. We'll see. This was a great episode, best of the season. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It was really great. Fleetpaw throws in $5. Nothing says I hate you and your ship like skull fucking your enemy's ship with an asteroid. Wow. Yeah. Olivia throws in $5. Is it just me or does the changeling slime look like raw bacon? Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Hopefully it's an alternate or the subspecies of changeling or a different kind of changeling. I hope it's not the same as Odo and they're trying to go with for a modern take on that look, because no, this shouldn't do that. That's not how it should look. But anyway. Mark Lawrence, $5. The hand cutting for communication reminded me of the eyeball thing in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Yeah, that's the other thing. Why did she have to cut off her own hand? She's a changeling. She can just like literally separate her own hand. So that was just weird. So many elements of this just felt like Star Trek, though. It's good to have that back. Even the ending where it's like you hear the voiceover of the Admiral's log talking about who are these people. You know, we've managed to escape the Shrike, but now what's next? What did they want with my son? And then that ending with the red vines and the red door and him slapping himself, like, what the hell was that? What is this Jack connection? I'm super stoked to see what this show's going to be about. It's really getting intriguing. It's really getting good, and they definitely are doing everything right. So I'm just looking forward to more of it, honestly. Wow. Everybody was on point this episode. Everyone had something to do. Riker was good. Picard was awesome. Jack was fantastic. Even Crusher was just crushing it. Shaw, good to see him back. Last time we saw him, he was sideways on a bio bed on his side. At least he's in his quarters now. I love that. That's great. I really like Shaw. I have since episode 1, and keep that up. The Battle of the Wolf 359 thing confirmed. Love that. Just some jackass from Chicago. Funniest fucking line ever when Picard's like, I know you're just some, did you say asshole from Chicago or jackass? I can't remember. But that was friggin' hilarious. So perfect. Yes. Awesome. Shaw, more Shaw. I don't think she's a changeling, just missing an arm, most likely. Actually, it's funny you say that, because I actually said that when we recorded our review earlier today, which will be up tomorrow afternoon. I said the exact same thing. I think part of the head founder makes up her hand so she can communicate with it over long distances. That's a cool idea, yeah. Jasper Jedi, the hand thing was weird, but it also made me think that they are different changelings from Deep Space Nine. Yes, we kind of thought that since we first saw them last episode, just because of the way they transform is quite different, especially the appearance of it. So, was the knife a Klingon knife? No, it wasn't. Everybody's making a big deal that it was the Riemann knife because it's in the on the poster for Nemesis as well. It's just a fancy knife, just a fancy knife. I was hoping we were going to see the birth of a Q, but whatever. Space jelly babies. I don't think she's a changeling. At least it didn't play that way for me. More like a changeling who has molded into her hand. Yes. Yes. I'm glad people are agreeing with me on that. That's awesome. Dipshit from Chicago. That's it. Thank you. Maybe something in his bloodstream, something Beverly doesn't know about or is hiding clearly. The Jack thing is a huge question mark on it, and that's good though. That's good because it's got me intrigued, and hopefully it's got you intrigued as well. So, long live Shaw from Chicago. Was the changeling killed or stunned? That's the other thing. It didn't appear to be killed. It didn't turn to ash. Didn't get vaporized like Worf's did, or like the two that Beverly killed that turned to ash. It very much was like, it looked like it was stunned because the eyes went. So maybe it's stunned. Maybe they're going to try to get information out of it. Something or somewhat is trying to communicate with Jack. That's my theory. Well, yes, because it keeps saying, "Find me, follow the branches." Todd nailed it this episode. And his PTSD speech, loved this speech, was a nod to Jaws and Quint's speech to the USS Indianapolis. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Loving the season so far. Had a tearful moment in the new episode. Yes. Sergeant Montgomery feels like the new changelings are a culmination of pieces of other individual changelings created out of the many. Yeah, dipshit from Chicago. Thank you, guys. Olivia throws in $2. Is this a model of Star Trek done right? Yes. This was great because it combined a lot of Star Trek elements. It wasn't all just action beats. You got a lot of good speeches, you got a lot of good character development, and you got the birth of something new, some space jellies. That was amazing. That was like the exploration aspect of Star Trek. So there was a lot of good stuff in this episode, and I love the way that they put it together. I think it was very well crafted, and I need to see more of this. I mean, people have said that episode 4 was really great going into it, and they were right. It's very dense. It's very. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. Best of the season. I mean, arguably yes. We'll have to see how my scoring goes tomorrow because I honestly don't know. But there's a lot to talk about, and yeah, I'm just there's so much good stuff in this one. Please tell me that you've seen Cocaine Bear by now. No. I think it was Dipshit from Chicago. Yes, indeed. The bucket thing was a bit odd. Only Odo needed that. Actual changelings don't need one. I know. I thought the same thing. Fleetpaw, $5. Shaw, oh my God, Shaw was perfect here. He really just some dipshit from Chicago who got on over his head and has to live with it. Yeah, I mean, Fleetpaw, we both know another dipshit from Chicago. One of our moderators. That knife was a Jem'Hadar weapon, right? No. Okay, here we go. We got somebody thinking it's Klingon, somebody thinking it's Riemann, and somebody thinking it's Jem'Hadar. It's just a goddamn knife. Which you can actually go buy at like a pro shop or something anywhere around because it's just a fancy fantasy-based knife. The show could have done without the swearing that had no place in Star Trek, and the bridge was too dark, dang it. But otherwise, great show. Mark Lawrence, would be nice if they kept the power surge levels of lighting when they get repairs. Yeah. NZ fades. So has Picard and Beverly got a son of the devil spawn? Looks like maybe that might be the case, yeah. I thought it was the best episode and the first, and I liked Shaw, yes. Nice to find out cannabis still exists in the 24th century. Bradley Thomas, everything is falling into pieces perfectly with this episode. The La Forgery scene was rather obvious. The changeling wouldn't be that stupid. The ghost of Q's left eyebrow, something about the hand that became Changeling's face, as well as the red imagery of Jack's hallucinations, screams demonic paw wraiths to me. Well, there you go. A lot of people want to make that connection too with the paw wraiths. So, Pumpkin Spice, everything was backwards. Annika Hansen should have been noticing the energy pulses, and Picard and Crusher hunting the changeling. Eric Floresca, it was a lot of fun. The bucket was too close to DS9, which I think was a little much since the bucket would have, any bucket would have worked. Maybe we'll get the D saucer next episode. I'm betting on episode 6 or something like that. Renatus, I was thinking maybe the changelings look different because they've been away from the link. I don't know, but there needs to be an in-universe explanation, otherwise I don't like it. I totally agree with you, and we have speculated that as well. They've separated from the link. They've had to find some other way to maintain their integrity. So yeah, that's why they look different. A lot of people are just saying it's updated effects. It's updated effects. It's like, no, it looks totally different from the one in the 90s. You can update the one in the 90s to have it look the same with that shimmery look, which would have been a lot better and tied in better than to create a whole new look for the changeling. So I hope there is an explanation for it. I'm doubting there's going to be, honestly, but yeah. Man, I missed the exploration part of Star Trek. Loved it. Yes, that was great as well. What is your opinion on Picard saying the F word? I thought it felt a place for Picard. Yeah. 10 fucking grueling hours. It's like, yeah, you didn't need to say that, Picard. I thought it was out of place. I didn't have a hissy fit over it. It didn't bother me that much. I just thought it was out of place. Lance Ripplinger. Now, if Paramount will let Terry Matalas run Star Trek, things can go up, only go up from there. Defiant 15E. Is it me, or is this season one bit booze cruise? I have no fucking idea what that means, so that's maybe just you. The Ghost of Q's Left Eyebrow. Both last week's episode and this week's episode were both 10 out of 10s for me, for totally different reasons, but still back-to-back 10 out of 10s. Thomas, I like dipshits from Chicago. Riker, I see your ship and raise you an asteroid. Yes. Actually, Picard, how he's acting, and Riker remind me of Battlestar Galactica, the old heads running the ship with a bit of git. They nailed it. The entire crew nailed it. Matt says, got on in the background. Can't stay long, but wanted to pop in and say hi and that you're the bestest. Oh, thanks, Matt. Glad some people think so. Joseph Cole, Red Door scene was very reminiscent of First Contact when Picard woke up from his dream to watching his face. The Borg implant punched through his face. Yes, absolutely. They were definitely drawing parallels with that, 100%. Like the Kobayashi Maru scenario Picard was in, I didn't even know it. Derek Prindle, I knew from the very start that they would ride the wave out, but it was so good to see how it all came together. Yes, we do know the dipshit from Chicago. Oh, I find him and Shaw to be similar. No, him and Shaw are nothing alike. Shaw's way too cool, man. Shaw's more like me. His attitude, the things he says, the snarkiness. I think that's why I like Shaw. I like characters like Shaw. I like characters like season 1 of Lieutenant Stamets. I love that kind of snarky asshole. And Lorca. I love those kind of asshole captains because that's how I am, and I see myself in them. And I think that's why I really get drawn to them, those characters. So, no. Shaw's too cool to be compared to him. So Picard faced the Herosian. Must have missed that. It's probably in a book. Matt Borman, oh my God, so tired of people talking about the lighting. It can't be changed, peeps. Yeah, I mean, you say that, but I mean, look at the lighting on the Enterprise D. Hopefully, I don't know why they don't go back to that kind of lighting, on a ship. That'd be great, bright, but, this modern cinematic standard of being, dramatically lit and a little bit darker works for most things. I don't think for the bridge, though, honestly. Thinking Vadic's a changeling organic hybrid. Yeah, I like that. Odds the changelings communicating with Vadic is Laz from DS9 Chimera. Very possible. We've talked about that quite a bit as well. Did you see the reveal of Jack in the flashback coming or not at all? Did you see the reveal of Jack in the flashback coming, or not at all? Oh, I didn't see that coming at all. When somebody spoke up and said Admiral, and they cleared a path, I thought you were going to get a cameo from somebody. I love that though. That's why he decided he did go to see his dad and ask his opinion about his family. And Picard being in that situation is like, Starfleet's the only family I ever needed. So Jack's like, all right, that's my decision made for me. I don't want to. I don't want to meet this guy. He seems like a bit of an asshole. Why would Annika Hansen not know about changelings or the Dominion? Voyager would have been updated once the Doctor got back from the Prometheus. She knows about them. She just said, and she actually has a line. I had no experience with them, because that shit was over by the time they got back. Yes, they would have been updated and informed of it, but Starfleet must be low on the starship captains if they are handing out commands to unstable officers. Captain Ron Phillips, what do you think of the changeling goo effects? It reminds me of the mood slime from Ghostbusters 2 with veins and hair mixed in. It looks better in DS9. It looks like shit. I fucking hate the new morph design. There better be, as we talked about earlier, there better be an in-universe reason for it, because it's nothing like, that's not how Odo would have looked. It's just updated for today's. See, I don't buy that at all. Matt says, I'd be down for the power race and a rogue group of changeling causing some scandal. Eric Martin just loved the new Riker maneuver, Nebula Billiards. Zachary Gibbons, so the Herodian made it to the Alpha Quadrant. A little surprised. Mark, it was good to at least see the references to Odo. Yes, it was great to see him on the pad, for sure. Dan says, mentioning of Picard facing off with Herodian, that would have been great to see. Would have been. I'm not going to. I think it was about it was probably in a novel or something. I don't know. Olivia Julius, $5. She called me Commander 7 out of respect. Awesome moment in 7 standing up for herself. Yeah. And I love Shaw's reaction to it. Like, good one. I thought for sure he was going to say Commander 7 or Commander and not say anything else. Like, good one, Commander, which he should have, I think. But I like the way he dealt with it. He's going to call her Commander 7 before the end of the season, for sure. For sure. Riker is just badass. Is a badass, just like when Picard became the Borg and he saves him. Maybe they've combined with Armus. Changelings are now backlings. Joseph Medetz, and that asshole line is what anyone would say after a moment of being a dipshit in public. Jack has a changeling in him like Vatic. Oh no. I prefer Picard where he swears in French. Yes, he did that in season 1 of TNG. Merde. He said shit in French. A great meat sack link. Ew. 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 Picard's F-bomb was supposedly a Stewart improv. Oh, really? Cool. I really wish... I like the story of the shuttle and all that. That's great. That's fantastic. I don't know why they didn't bring up Booby Trap, though, where Picard was actually piloting the ship around the asteroids, and even to the point of going up to one using its gravity and then swinging around it. I wish they would have done something like that, and I thought they were doing that when Jack's like, 4 more seconds, trust me. There's no reveal, there's no, like, anything with that. That would have been nice, though. Would have liked if Picard took over for a second, even from the captain's seat, and, like, did a little bit of steering on his own around the asteroids, just like he did in Booby Trap. They didn't mention it, and it annoys me so much. Like, yeah, kid, I know that shuttle story too. It's like, okay, it's a new story we're just getting introduced to. That's fine. But they could also tie it in with Booby Trap as well. You know what I mean? So, discovering spaceborne species was not new for Riker, Crusher, or Picard. Bright Starline. Captain would like a refit Constitution, but with upgraded interior of the Titan A. The sheer fucking hubris. I felt at the end, Riker had a Genesis moment. Young. I feel young. That's the other thing. I really loved Troy in this one. I'm not a huge Troy fan. I wasn't looking forward to Marina Sirtis necessarily coming back, especially if she's going to be, confrontational the entire time, which we saw in one of the trailers where she's kind of arguing with Riker. I like the way this played out, where she's like, I'm just glad everybody's safe. Are you and John Luke in trouble? He's like, I don't know yet. Seriously, we stole a starship, essentially. But I liked her vibe in this one. I didn't like her vibe in the last one, where it's like, your kid projectile vomited and blah, blah, blah. is a little much. I know she was a new mother, but still, it was a little much, honestly. So, oh, by the way, I haven't mentioned 155 people here, 70 likes, guys. Let's get it up to 100 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Please consider super chatting and supporting the channel. I do read all the super chats, obviously, and like the pin post says, for a $20 super chat, I will have a shot of my Di Serona on the, well, Di Serona. I probably have to go with something else because there's only like 2 or 3 shots in there. But anyway, could make it more interesting. Just saying. So if you want to join, by all means, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell icon, or actually join the channel as a member, and you get your name in the fleet, get assigned to a ship, and get to see those ships at the end of edited content all week. So consider joining. Riker uses Wesley's asteroid tractor beam move, and Beverly doesn't even give her son credit. What does Terry have against Will Wheaton? Probably nothing. NZ Fade, oh yeah, no life support on, but the holodeck is fine. What the fuck? Just what the fuck? What the fuck? Makes no sense. Even his explanation makes no sense. Okay, I both love and hate the explanation for the holodeck. I love that, yes, you could use it as a form of sanctuary in a time of trouble. I get that, you know, separate power cell, that's fine. But at the end where they're like, we got 98% on thrusters, it's not enough. It's like, tap into the power cell for the holodeck. That's what I was waiting for. Like, all the systems should be intertied for that, like this, intertied, tied into each other so that you can use it all in an emergency. I both loved and hated that separate power thing for the holodeck. I know that line was just thrown in so that people wouldn't say, why are they using the holodeck? Because Sylvia said that instantly, and I'm like, they explain it in a second. Hold on. So, yeah. Yeah, I both love and hate that. I both love and hate that. So, anyhow. Yeah. And it's funny, they turn off all life support. Gravity still works. Part of life support is the gravity, artificial gravity. Whatever, it's fine. Picard, the baby that launched. Oh. What is happening here? Are you guys still seeing me? Why did that freeze? All right, there we go. Sorry, I had a little bit of an issue there, but I've since corrected it. All right. Sorry, that screwed up my chat too. So I'm just kind of had to pick up from somewhere. I was waiting for the board game plan to pop out of Jack's face when he's looking in the mirror. Yes. Riker, I see your Elios and raise you an asteroid. Absolutely. Shaw is a great captain. So many great moments this episode. There is a book, The Star Trek Destiny. The Enterprise goes up against the Hirogen. Ooh, there you go. I love when Shaw is using him being nice as Seven to an example of someone being a changeling. Yeah. They were on a tight budget with this season, but came on some low power LEDs would fix the issue. That's the thing I was going to say about the holodeck and using the bar. Unfortunately, they were strapped for cash with this season, and so they make pretty good use of the sets they have, which is the bridge, one Titan corridor, one Titan, I think, quarters, and the bar, 10 forward. So, I mean, you could have had that conversation anywhere. It didn't have to be in 10 forward. I thought it was an interesting choice, but again, explaining the holodeck thing, just odd. Fleet Power member for 35 months at the rank of lieutenant. Shaw has grown on me since episode 1. I didn't like the rudeness. That said, he has to protect 500 lives. A captain's first duty is the safety of his crew. If it's the Power Wraith, it's Ducat. Ooh. I appreciate the respect they gave Shaw for it, in that his generation must have a very different view of serving the Starfleet than the Golden Agers like Picard. He witnessed some real tragedy. I loved seeing Odo's pick in the Changeling Report. Yes, I did too. The old morph looked terrible the day it was new. Yeah, but the gold shimmeriness of it looked better, and like the could you imagine the Great Lake, like the lake, instead of being a shimmery gold color, being this fucking putrefied, disgusting, melted, rotten meat look. Ugh. Captain Corky, Shaw did seem a little unstable in the bar, but considering the situation and they were in, and he'd been through during the Battle of Wolf 359, I can understand why he acted like that. Plus, he's on pain medication, so he's a little bit, Shaw respects people who call him out for being an arsehole. Yes. Are the changelings from TNG related to the DS9 ones? What changelings from TNG? We've had many changelings over the years, and not all shapeshifters are changelings. So we've had many shapeshifters over the years. In Star Trek VI, Martia was a comaloid, which means she didn't go into a liquid form. She would just change form from one being to another. She didn't have like a liquid form, so she's not a changeling. So I don't know which TNG ones you're talking about. The story, pacing, and acting in this episode was amazing, and I'm glad they didn't include the Raffi storyline as it wasn't needed this week. Yeah, I think next week's going to be very focused on Raffi and Worf and them going to Daystrom Station. That's my guess, but again, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I love the ongoing gag this year that no one likes Picard's wine. Did you notice the alien heads that look like Baby Yoda? You mean the squids? I didn't notice they look like Baby Yoda, but sure, they look kind of cute. Yeah, I was hoping they would mention Booby Trap with the way they were leading us on. Did you know you have a Vorlon, changeling inside you? What if the talking head is Armis? Ooh, it's not, but ooh. Can I ask where the additional 130 of y'all were for last night's live? That shizzle was fun, and you missed out. Yeah, there's 183 of you here, which is amazing. We're still not at 100 likes yet. We need 4 more likes to get to 100. So hit that like button if you're just joining us. We should get to 150 likes, honestly. And where were you for the Mandalorian first reaction? I had 20 people here. 20 people. Nobody cares about the Mandalorian? I don't believe that for a second. I'm going to keep doing them, whether people show up or not. But letting you guys know that on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing first reactions of the Mandalorian. So please join me for that. But thank you, everybody. Hit that like button and keep the chat coming. I want to see what you guys think. I don't think the Power Rays will make an appearance. I think the only way you could do that is involve Cisco. I don't think Avery Brooks is coming back. She did feel a lot more like Deanna. Yes, she did. Absolutely. Ed Spilliers has been very impressive so far. Delivers Trek speech very well. Ashley Chestnut, The Forged, also doing very well. Absolutely, yeah. It was hilarious when Picard said he needed a dipshit from Chicago. Yes, that was fucking great. Mr. Crennan, glad they are showing the changelings like the techno-org goods they are supposed to be. Remember that Lars can become... shapeshifters are not people doppelgangers. Why didn't Seven just ask the computer for the location of the forge? How would the computer have answered? It would have said she's on the bridge. Yeah. Going to pretend Discovery was an alternate timeline and forget it ever happened. Captain Corky, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I usually hit like before the video even starts. I've been watching Trekyards long enough to know I'm going to love it no matter what. Oh, thank you, Captain Corky. That's much appreciated. Speaking of, we're at 121 likes. Yes, we had a big jump there. Can we get another 30 likes, though, to get to 150? I think that's very possible. Take the power from life support. What about the holodeck? Exactly, I thought the same thing. In Voyager, they tried using holodeck power, but the two were incompatible. Yeah. Picard has probably carried that guilt of what was forced to do as Locutus. It takes all the blame Shaw threw at him for his trauma. It was terribly difficult for both men. I love that Jack stood up for him, though. Jack's like, hey. And Picard's like, no, it's fine. I'm used to this. Many people over the years have come up and accused me of this shit, so I'm good. But thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. I think that was very good. I'm glad that Jack stood up for him. Like Jack's like, hey. That was great. Voyager doesn't have a line about holodecks having a power source that is separate and won't connect to the rest of the ship. That's because this is a newer ship and they've decided to change the holodeck power supply for emergency situations, I guess. Peter the Caco, $5. Every time I see a changeling morph, I think of Wagyu steak. Ooh, ew, ew. Would be like trying to jump a car with a AA battery. I know, but all you need is 2% to the thrusters. So, shuttles and worker bees have power of their own too. That's true. Plug those in. Maybe the artificial gravity is charged in the way that immediate power loss would not mean they float off the deck. Yes, that's one of the explanations for it. It's got like half an hour worth of charge and it just gets less and less gravity as it dissipates. So you still have a lot of time. For once, turning off life support doesn't lead to instant suffocation and crew fleeing, just chilling instead. I believe Voyager and Harry Kim said a line about how the holodeck's power matrix isn't compatible with the other ship systems. Still, I guess there should have been an emergency override, but meh. Did you address the weird ending? I was still watching the show and then smoked. I've talked about it. I haven't really addressed it. It's weird, and it's definitely got me hooked. I want to find out what's going on with Jack and why they want Jack. Daniel's Hot Topics. What do you think of the Vadic? Who do you think the Vadic was talking to? What do you think of who the Vadics was talking to? I was like, oh my god, it's the new big boss and big alien threat that the Federation will have to deal with. Maybe it's an Iconian. I have no thoughts on it as of right now. I haven't really considered much of what it could be. I was just along for the ride. I got massive vibes of Booby Trap from the visuals. Also in that episode, the holodeck auto shut down in an emergency and had to be reinstated by Picard, so clearly holodecks are linked to the ship systems. Yes, back in the day they were. I think they're implying that the new ships have separate power cells for the holodecks for emergency situations, even to do what Geordi was doing, to run diagnostics and run tests to see how they can get out of a situation, instead of them shutting off without a captain's override. I think that would be a good explanation. I kind of hate it, but I kind of love it at the same time. So I'm kind of on that one. Verpine throws in $5. Love Shaw's story from the Battle of the Wool 359. I'm a sucker for a Survivor Guild story. Could the tight budget be the reason for the Jameson product placement? Yeah, as soon as I saw the bottle, I'm like, seriously? Seriously, Jameson's still around in the future? That's great for Jameson. Peter the Caco, $2. How was the chicken mac? I didn't get one. I haven't got one yet, so. Wouldn't the holodeck have independent power make the deadly malfunctions that much harder to handle? Not necessarily. You just yank the power cell instead of it being tied into the ship's system, where the holodeck, if it gets taken over by an AI or whatever and can actually access the rest of the ship's systems, like Moriarty could make the ship shake because it was tied into all the systems. So the other thing stolen from the Daystream Institute could be Lore and Moriarty. Yes, could be. It very likely is. If you notice when they detached the portal thing and it came towards the camera, it said the Daystrom Institute of Robotics, of Advanced Robotics, actually. So I do think it's cool that Shaw served on a Constellation class ship at Wool 359. Absolutely. Wasn't Rusty Crusher's girlfriend in an episode as a shapeshifter? LOL, that episode was funny. Yes, but she was from a specific planet. Totally different shapeshifter yet again. The one in Aquiel, I think, that was more like the Thing. Yes, Aquiel was a shapeshifter as well. Captain Foley, this episode was without a doubt the best episode ever filmed in Trek. That is not true at all, but it was definitely up there. It's definitely, I would say it's probably the best episode of this season so far. You're exactly right about the Worf and Raffi episode next week. They already dropped teasers on. Oh, did they? I haven't seen that yet. The alien princess Wesley liked and her guardian changeling is the one who wanted to fight the Warp one day. Yes. Remember the time change this week on Super Captain Foley. 10 out of 10 no-win scenarios for the latest episode of Picard. Sweet, new Mando is out? Yeah, it's episode 2 already. Every Wednesday. So we had 2 episodes already. Haven't watched Mandalorian this season, haven't watched Last of Us, but Picard just wow. Whoever wrote this season needs to be put in charge of everything. Terry Metalis is responsible for most of the writing. Last night I was stuck in a haunted castle way up in the snowbound mountain upon which the internet does not exist. Ooh, exciting. Totally forgot about The Mandalorian. I am off because the other 2 seasons were fall series. Captain Foley, how do we know you are not a changeling? We might need to start asking questions only the real Captain Foley would know. Go for it. I think Discovery got the changeling effect right last season. Yes, they did. Asking the computer where the forge is would give the changeling extra time to react, knowing how the computer would respond. Andy Urich throws in $20 and says, Star Trek, and that means I need to have a shot. Got some Di Serrona. Probably have enough for 2 shots, because it looks like I need to do 2. If not, I can go grab something else from downstairs, but this always makes the lives more interesting. Dun 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 dun. Cheers. Oh. And then Bradley Thomas, $20. Drink up, Captain. A little bit left. It's not quite full, but it's full enough. So thank you, Bradley Thomas. Yummy, yummy, yummy. In my tummy, tummy, tummy. Hoping for a 7 Captain Shaw spin-off series after Picard with characters. That would be amazing. Shaw reminds me of my grandfather. He served in the Navy from 1942 to 1979. He too was a Navy captain. The survivor's guilt was real. I am so Team Shaw. Yeah. The Mandalorian may be losing steam. These last 2 episodes were him running space errands while almost getting killed. How dangerous will the laundromat on Tatooine be for him and Baby Yoda? That's funny. I'm just glad we left the nebula, ready to see other stuff now. I'm right there with you, Mike G, 100%. I don't ever remember hearing an Admiral's log before. I don't think we have. Rude Chef, I thought when Vadic cut her hand off and put it in the dish thingy, that she was using tech that allowed her to talk to the Great Link without being in it. No. There would not be just one face for the Great Link, and I don't think there's any technology that would do that necessarily. I like the idea that it's actually part of the changeling she's talking to, and that gel, part of them makes her be able to communicate. All right, hold up. It's time to go off the rails and begin discussing the collective love of cheese. No, it's not. It's not, though. I love the idea of a few modern brands surviving hundreds of years. Oh, me too. Joseph Barbato, wait, what's a chicken Big Mac? In Canada, there's a chicken Big Mac. They just replaced the beef patties with chicken patties from their morning chicken McMuffin. Matt Boardman, but I forgot that this was a bit of a jab at Jameson because he said he wanted cheap whiskey. Yeah, I thought the same thing too. My son's dog, he's got a King Shepherd, and its name is Jameson. So we always buy him bottles of Jameson as a joke, like my son, not the dog. So they'll give Moriarty Laura's body and create Loriarty. Loriarty, like Artie Morty. If you know who Artie Morty is, I like you. We can get along. We can be friends. One of my favorite beers was founded 1,000 years ago. Ooh, nice. I'm going to try to pronounce that. When's Steffener? I said I wasn't going to try to pronounce it, then I go ahead and do it. Eric Martin, when Jack asked for cheap whiskey, I was expecting wild turkey. He went to school in London and he takes ice in his whiskey. I like ice in my whiskey. As long as you drink it fast enough so it doesn't get diluted. Peter the Caco, $5. Love Shaw's casual uniform. It feels so movie series. Yeah, it looked good. It did look good. I like seeing Odo's picture, but do you think we'll get a chance? There's a chance we'll see a CGI Odo this season as sort of a tribute to Renee Abanois. I don't think so. That's my gut saying no. Would be great, but no. No, the Enterprise A or even the original had Scotty. He would have gotten the old gal running in a jiffy, and pew pew pew, the enemy is gone. Okay, NZ Fade. You can already access the ship systems from the holodeck, so I'm still not buying the power cell thing. Have a power cell as a backup, like a UPS on a computer. That's uninterrupted power source. How do they recharge the power cell? Well, it's just always charged. It's always got charge running through it until they need it for other things. Gotta grab the Crown Royal Peach. Well, I have some downstairs, yeah. I was having the Jameson tonight in tribute of the episode. Oh, nice. Mike Boardman, it's like saying everyone who survived D-Day during World War II has the same story to tell. No, every one of them is going to have their own unique experience. The way they did it in the Best of Both Worlds, no survivors to recover at Wolf 359. Yeah, we see Cisco survive. We see a lot of people survive. Peter the Caco, $5. Nice to see a one last time conference room discussion with the Legacy crew. I don't think it's the last time we're going to see the conference room with them. Captain, we need another 80s live soon. Did we, though? Because nobody showed up for that. Speaking of, there's 200 people here with 147 likes. We're still not at 150 likes. 3 more likes, guys. 3 more likes, or 3 more likes, depending on where you're from. 3, 3, 3. That's kind of funky. That's what I do, but it's kind of painful. That's the most naturalistic. Anyway, 3 more likes. Hit that like button. Oh, we're at 152 already. All right, 200 of you here. Make sure you're all subscribed. First of all, consider joining the channel. You can be a part of our fleet, have your name on a ship plaque, be assigned to a ship with a cool animation at the end of our videos. So look at those perks at least, plus cool wallpapers and stuff every month as well. So anyway, yes, 160 people right now have hit the like button. Let's keep it up. Let's try to get to 200. Actually, that's a little too much. Let's get 20 more. Let's get to 180. I think we can do it. You can do it. You can do it, guys. Even if the Luna's fate is another Deanna at the helm moment. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5. I'd ask questions only you and I know the answers to, but I know a little too much. Don't worry if I'm ever captured. My brain is set to wipe itself. As long as you know how to wipe yourself, you don't need somebody else wiping your ass for you, you're fine. Oh, you meant your brain. You know a little too much, eh? I challenge you to ask me a question that you know that only I would know the answer to. I challenge you. Pumpkin Spice. Mary Wiseman's cast as Mary Wiseman in the unauthorized Mary Wiseman biography. Nice. Matt Boardman. My grandpa was a tank mechanic in the Korean War and a diesel mechanic after the war. That they made Shaw a grease monkey gave me a nice connection there. Awesome, Matt. Rude Chef. Chicken Big Mac. Oh my God, I guess I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Dan's Hot Topics. They say dreams are windows into parallel realities. I had a dream last night that me and a bunch of people were online were working on the USS Discovery. Oh, it sounds like a goddamn nightmare. My only complaint so far is the absence of the Enterprise. That's what Rob Rudd says. Joseph Cole says, I think Discovery got the changing effect right last season, didn't they? They did. 100%. Yes, it was a good updated one. Crossover idea. Rick and Moriarty. That's fucking great. Without a clue, Michael Caine. Oh, Lisa Jericho. I knew somebody would get it. Would it be safe to say that Bo-Katan is taking the role of Cara Dune by being Mando's partner? Yeah, maybe. I wonder when Shaw said, forget about that weird shit on the Stargazer. The real Borg is still out there. Were they telling us, the audience, to forget the hippie Borg commune? Yeah, the Borg cooperative, as I like to call it. Yeah, they kind of were saying fuck season 2. Captain Corky says, Matt Boardman, small world, my grandfather drove a tank during the Korean War. Zachary Gibbons, I thought Picard was going to give him Aldebaran whiskey. After all, he gives it to Guinan. Colin says, most likely anyone who escaped Wolf 359 in an escape pod or shuttle got the hell out of there and were long gone by the time the Enterprise arrived. It's not sci-fi, but you should do a Dukes of Hazzard live. Oh, I would love to do Dukes of Hazzard live. I grew up on Dukes of Hazzard, man. Love that shit. With these 4 episodes, it seems like we've seen most of the action beats from the trailers. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. What are the odds we will see Sisko in Picard season 3? I heard a really cool theory. Maybe it was on here, but I heard that the nebula they were in could have been containing a wormhole. Yeah, it wasn't, though. So it's been talked about on here. It's been talked about online. A lot of people have the wormhole theory. Rob Rudd says, nice 1/350 scale Enterprise model. Thank you. Built it myself. It's got lights and everything, but the motors for the Bizarre collectors are kind of loud, so I don't have it on very often. I was hoping Shaw's recollection of World 359 would have included flashbacks, space battle stuff, to give us some more space battle niceness. That would have been awesome. I've got it. His real name is Artie Morty. Yes, it's an anagram. Shatner is going to be in my hometown of Detroit. Should I go see him? Yeah. Attention to orders. Hit the like button and share. Let's help the captain. End of transmission. Signed, Admiral C.W. Williams. Chase Williams has ordered you. Speaking over 165 likes, we're only 15 likes away from my 180 goal. Do it. We have 202 people here. Let's get going with that. I want to hear your thoughts, guys. So super chat in or just put in the regular chat. I do read most of them. We got a lot of people here tonight, so I am skipping a few. So I apologize if I don't get to yours. If you do want me to read it for sure, super chat is a great way to do so. Keep in mind that I do have the $20 super chat thing right now, where if I do get a $20 super chat, I will have a shot. I've had 2 shots of Disrona tonight, and yeah, you guys can make it a very interesting live. Should I get more? So, and now we're only 9 likes away from that 180 goal. So hit it. Don't forget, if you join the channel, you get access to the Discord. Great to be a part of. Yes, Joseph Barbado was pitching our Discord there. Yes, that's the other thing. If you join the channel, not only do you become part of the fleet, but you get to join the official Trekyards Fleet Discord channel, where you can hang out with us. You can hang out with all the other members of the channel and have some good discussions. So please go check it out and join. You can kind of bug us at all times of the day if you want. And we'll get to you when we can, which is pretty quick usually. Ask about the dilithium as a fuel source, and if Cap loses his shit, he's not a changeling. NZ Fade, what spice babies are going to come out after you're eating a chicken Big Mac? Ew, gross. What? At some point, asshole became a substitute for charm. Love that line. The same space babies that are coming out of me from being on antibiotics again. Wow, gross. Do you think Mando and Bo-Katan will get married? No, I don't. The Best of Both Worlds aired 33 years ago in this season of Picard. Well, 359 occurred 33 years before the current events. I am sure that Jameson is a sponsored product. It wasn't given enough prominence to be a sponsored product, so I would say no to that. And in some of the shots, it was deliberately not turned towards the camera, so I'd say no. I'd say no to that. The guy who played Gul Dukat could come back in Picard Season 3 or show after, right? He ain't that old. Mark Alamo? I don't know. I don't know if he's still acting or not. Who is Worf's handler, anyone? I say Major Kira. Well, that'd be cool. Plus, there's a Borg Guardian Sentinel out there watching the portal. The General Lee and Boss Hog Cadillac reviewed on Car Yards. That's funny you mentioned Car Yards. That's funny. Just keep that in mind. The Red Letter Media guys seem to like it so far in a dog that's been eaten away. Enterprise will be shown. Whether or not they're on it will be another story, but someone is definitely going to say it's the Enterprise. The ghost of Q's left eyebrows. Give me any of the muscle cars from Dazed and Confused, and I'll be happier than a pig in schlop. And yeah, the secret is that Jack slept with Baddock. Ooh, gross. Peter Lukaku, $5. I'll pay $20 if you order a chicken mac. I would have to do it after the live, so you just have to take my word for it that I would do it. But there you go. I will do it. Just saying. 174 likes, though, guys. We need another 6 likes to get to 180. I think we can do it with 187 people here. So hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're just joining me, or if you're enjoying anything, or even if you're not enjoying, I don't care. Hit that like button. Mando was great. I think that Grogu will tame the mythosaur. Ooh. I'd love to see Garrick return. Andrew Robinson is such a great actor. Hell yes. Rude Chef says, I like how Bo-Katan admired Mando through the episode. Admired him. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. Maybe Worf's handler is a certain female emperor. Ooh, George O. Could be. Could be. Although he's not a member of Starfleet Intelligence. Because Raffi's like, Worf, you're a legend. You're with Starfleet? He's like, no. But he doesn't say no. He says, let's put it this way. Their whatever and mine align. Consider me a subcontractor. Which means he's not with Starfleet. So Olivia throws in $5. Captain Olivia's orders. All my crew must like this video or no holodeck privileges. Who are my crew? No idea. On what ship? No idea. I know. Your ship is the USS Indianapolis. I don't even think I have Discord on this fucking thing. Your ship is the USS Indianapolis. I know that, though, and it is a Constellation-class ship. Just like Shaw's was. So that's what your ship is, Olivia. Who's on your ship? That's a good question. Anyway, I'm going to have to put Discord on here so I can tell you who's on your ship at some point. Yeah, the Jack thing at the end. Imagine if he hulked out and became a CGI monster. No. We know the future, so let's go with into 500th century. Shaw's engineering background and his Wolf 359 experience explain his different attitude towards command very well. I'm glad that they included the explanation. Dan's Hot Topics. How would they react? Jungle Moose. Except it doesn't make sense for Kira to be Worf's handler. No sense at all. I'm going to be on Captain Olivia's ship. But we'll see. Hold on. Anyone try the new Whopper Doritos yet? No? What? So how outraged would you be if they destroy every Enterprise at the ship museum? I'd be mad. I would drop off a chicken Big Mac, but I think I'm going to smoke, then head to bed. Yes, do so. ND Magoo. There's only one way they can outdo the Mando Skywalker situation. Get Kirk out of the Nexus. Gee, I love the motion picture. Refit Enterprise. Okay, Donnie. Peter Lukaku throws in $20. Goddamn. Drink up. Also, my sweet mom, her talk Terry, said the show will end with Riker and Picard at Frontier Day on the bridge of the Enterprise D. Spoilers. Is that a confirmed spoiler? And if so, you shouldn't do spoilers. Bridge of the Enterprise D. I mean, does that seem likely? It does say it's at the museum on the little plaque in season 2. Oh, look at that. It's like syrupy. That's enough. That's enough for like a full shot-ish. So that's the end of my Di Serrano. If any more super chats like that come in, I'll have to go downstairs and get myself something else to drink. You bastards. But anyway, thank you so much, Peter Lukaku. I guess this means I have to order a chicken Big Mac after this. Captain Foley, Worf is a legend. Kirk, Sisko, and Archer are legends. Spock and McCoy are legends. However, Picard and Janeway are not legends. They are special captains, but not legends. Disagree, 100%. Captain Foley, do you think Picard Season 3 is TNG meets Star Trek Online? That's a good description. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Was that a Riemann jackknife? For fuck's sakes, this is the third person. Some people say it's Riemann. Some people say it's Klingon. Some people say it's Dominion. It's just a goddamn knife. Yes, it is on the cover of Nemesis, the poster, with Shinzon holding it above his head. But it's just a fantasy knife. It's just a flunky knife. So is Vadic a changeling, or is she just occupied by one? It's hard to tell if she cut off her whole hand or just cut it. I don't think she's a changeling. I still maintain that. Considering Seven's line about being the man to strand two legends, the writers wouldn't want to be the one to blow up legendary ships. Tyrone Lease. Lease, eh? My grandma was a Lease. Anyway, I see hints of DS9 series coming. Says, oh no, the bottle is empty. Eric Martin, with all these knives around, someone cut Vadic's hair, please. Sam Whiskey puts in $10. The Star Trek Discovery ship is a copy of the invader ship from Fireball XL5, episode 34, Invasion Earth. What are your thoughts? I would have to take a look at that. The invader ship. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Fireball XL5. I have seen some of it, and I don't know which one you're referring to specifically. Invader ship, Fireball XL5. Let me take a look. And let's see, you said it was episode 34, Invasion Earth. Oh, God damn it. Episode 34, Invasion Earth. It's not showing me the ship. I put Invader Ship Fireball XL5 episode 34 Invasion Earth. Just these are literally the only images it gives me. Like that's it. So yeah, I don't know enough to give you thoughts on that. Sorry. Daniel's Hot Topics. I hope a DS9 series is coming. It's not, but nice try. Mellow Canuck, Captain Worf for Deep Space Nine. Colin Barrett, my brother reckons the crew of Vadic's ship are Breen without helmets. Nah, disagree. Bradley Thomas, how can we send you gifts to show during the lives? Well, I have an address where you can send things that I can get them. You'd have to either email me at hotmail.com or Trekyards at hotmail.com. Email me at Trekyards at hotmail.com, or hit me up on like a private message for Facebook or whatever. I can let you know the address where I can get stuff sent to me. So don't have a P.O. box or anything, unfortunately. Jim Robertson, didn't John Delancey say he's filmed a scene for season 3? I was so afraid he was going to pop in to save the Titan from the nebula. He said that, but I don't know how legit that is. But I think he has said that, yes. If we see the Enterprise D bridge at the end of the season, the lighting better be correct. It's a series, not generations. I totally agree. Pumpkin Spice, if you like sci-fi, that old series from the 1960s is pretty good. It's called Star Trek. I've never heard of this. What is this? Star Trek you speak of. Oof, changeling or a missing limb. I think it's a missing limb. I've called this out before. I said it when we filmed earlier today, a review, which will be out tomorrow afternoon, of this episode. I said it could be possible it's just a hand or an arm missing, that this is a part of a changeling that gives her contact with whoever that is. So, Shoveling Jedi Trekker HTD. Captain Foley, where Picard and OJ Jack Crusher getting some booty on Gelios 4. But isn't that where Scotty ran into Red Jack? Yes, I think it is the same planet. And yeah, they were getting some booty. So, Peter Lukaku, $2. What is Vatic? Vatic is the lady, the bad villain person. Mellow Canuck, if you've never put your life in danger for booty, what are you doing with your life? Right? Yeah. Thomas Macaulay, just looking at it now, and it really is identical in shape to Shinzo's. It's the exact same fucking knife. Yes. Yes. It's been used many times. It's for multiple sci-fi and fantasy things. It is the same knife. It doesn't mean it's Riemann. It doesn't mean it's Romulan. It doesn't mean it's Klingon. It doesn't mean it's anything. But a fucking cool knife that they just happened to have on set. Pumpkin Spice. That old 80s series, Star Trek The Next Generation, is pretty good too, if anyone remembers that. Next Generation. Next Generation just sounds like a lame title. Never heard of it. I wouldn't suggest it. Don't recommend. Tim Adkins, I enjoyed your Worlds of the Federation book review. Thank you. I thought it could have been better. I needed to do better for those book reviews. That was kind of rushed through, but thank you. I appreciate that. Lots more of those coming. I got a lot of old books and stuff that I want to include on that channel, so thank you. Dan Bevan, instead of duplicating people and not having their knowledge, changing the experiment on their DNA to share the body instead of a copy, sleeper agent until activated kind of thing. Maybe Jack is one. Cool, I like that idea. Captain Zidek, odd that no order was given to search the changeling, no mention of the technology to keep it under control. Instead, Commander 9 just disintegrated it without interrogation. She didn't disintegrate it. It's still there. It's like it's stunned almost. It's not like it's even dead. Vadic's crew changelings? Some sort of changeling drone? New Jem'Hadar? I don't think they're changelings. I think there's something else. And New Jem'Hadar? Maybe. Samuel speculated that might be the case. So, Colin Barrett, it's possible the Enterprise D was shown already, but it's so dark we did not see it. Wow. Vadic is probably some kind of meat puppet. Ooh. Vadic, the batshit crazy villainess. Her level of batshit crazy is refreshing, though. It is, yeah. She's a good villain so far. Dexter Morgan, why could they not make Star Trek like this from the beginning? Yeah, this should have been season 1. They should have led with this one. This was like season 8 of TNG, season 1 of Picard, and then introduced like Soji, introduced Elnor, that's it. Introduced Girardi, and I introduced these people, including Rios, and then have filter out the TNG people for the next season. That would have made more sense than the way they did it. They did it completely bass-backwards. The ghost of Q's left eyebrow says, "Good night, all. I'm very cross-faded and I'm going to bed. Peace and long life." Peace and long life to you, my friend. Enjoy your sleep, or whatever you do in bed. Mellow Canuck, she refused, so she's not genetically engineered to obey. Peter Lukaku, $2. No, I meant, what is she? Is she human? We don't know. That's part of the mystery. I don't think she's a changeling. I don't think she's human necessarily. So I don't know what she is exactly. And by the way, we hit 180 likes. That's awesome. Can we hit 200? You know, there are 19 likes to get to 200, which is a good number, but we have 163 people here. Have some of you not hit like? If so, please hit like right now. Let's see if we can get up there. What happened to the rant series on Captain Foley's personal channel? That might be a good thing for YouTube Shorts. Good question. I have a list of things I want to rant about, but a lot of people just see the ranting as a little bit whining and complaining, which I didn't like. And I want to be in the mood to rant, first of all, which I was when I started this live. I'm feeling much better now. Thank you guys. And some of the things I want to rant about are just kind of silly. I don't know. And yeah, I've done a few short ones. I needed to do more rant alert series. So I will consider that. What about the 90s space station show called Deep Space Nine? Probably isn't best of so. Nope, haven't heard of that either. Let's make a drink. It's my good buddy, Cliff. How's it going, sir? Long time no see, and you never messaged me. I think I did something wrong. I thought you were pissed at me. What the hell? Anyway, great. This year at Wonderfest, we're going to see 1357 models of that damn knife in Klingon, Dominion, Gorn, Ferengi, Vulcan, Democrat, Republican, and Cool Ranch versions. Cliff, I love you, man. Glad to see you. Don't be a stranger, man. Message me. I'm afraid that I did something wrong. Every time I message you, it's like I don't get a response, or it's a very curt and quick response, and I'm like, what did I do? So I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. Peter the Caco, just order KFC and make your own chicken mac with the fat meat. You know, one thing I think they should do for KFC, and it sounds disgusting, but have a bucket of skin. Bucket of skin, they could call it. Because the skin is the best part. The batter, the 11 herbs and spices on the skin. Just have that. That's what I like to eat the best anyway. I don't really care for the meat when I order KFC. I want the skin. Sounds disgusting, but bucket of skin. Let's go. Maybe this is what happens to the Jem'Hadar without the weight. Oh, wow. Persephone, I'm hoping Tuvok is Worf's handler. Well, maybe it would explain Worf's new Zen ad. Oh, that is fucking brilliant. I love that. That's a fantastic idea. Yes, more of that. Put her in charge of story ideas. Pumpkin Spice. They had planned up to season 10 for TNG, but Paramount wanted movies. They should have done both. I agree. Paul Hitchcock. The knife is a Gilhaben knife, and he's designed many knives for movies and for Star Trek. If anything, likely just an Easter egg callback, but that there's any meaning beyond that. Yeah, I don't think there's any meaning to it at all. Cap's voice is making me fall asleep on the couch. I have that effect on people, Eric. ST Scout Guy. I wonder if Vadic could be a former member of the Maquis who is still pissed at the Federation. Don't see why not. This Jericho gives new meaning to the phrase talk to the hand. Talk to the hand, because this bitch ain't listening. It definitely gives a new meaning to it when you cut your hand off and communicate with somebody. It's a great communicator. Fleet Pa, I love the Rant Alert series. I know you didn't pay me to say that. That's true. I did not pay him to say that. Colin Barrett, if you want the captain to rant, just say Kurtzman Trek makes awesome canon. 2 N's, yes. Pumpkin Spice, Dukes of Hazzard remake series coming. Should be generally, but a 2008 Hemi Orange Charger SRT8. No, the new fucking Chargers are gross. My son has one of the new Chargers. I hate them. I hate them so much. You know, if you're going to spend that much money, just buy a Challenger. The Challengers look so much nicer. Now, the old Charger, the generally, yes, I actually have one in Need for Speed Heat. Is it Need for Speed? Yes, Need for Speed Heat. And I've made it silver, or like a gunmetal gray. And it's got 01 on the side in black. And on the top, it's got a Decepticon symbol that says Lord Megatron instead of General Lee. And I want to make this car in real life. I want to get a Charger and make this car. I've got a video on my Captain Foley personal channel showing off that car. So if you haven't check that out. Go check it out. Deep Space Nine is just Babylon 5 ripoff. Ooh, those them fight words. Peter the Caco, $5. Ship's going down. Let's hit the bar. Kind of strange attitude. Yes and no. Matt Munn. That's funny because Jack says the same thing. It's like, oh, this fake place is as good a place to die as any. That was funny. The skin talk is going to make me unsubscribe. Oh, the KFC skin. I'm sorry. Don't unsubscribe. The fried crunchy skin bits from KFC are delicious. Olivia throws in $5. That's funny. When I message you, you ask what you did wrong to make me want to message you. When I message you, you ask what you did wrong to make me want to message you. Huh? I'm confused. Fried chicken skin, like pork rinds, but better. Yummy chicken skin. Vatic is not Maquis because it was the Dominion who wiped out the Maquis. They would never team up. New cross promotion for Picard and KFC. Changeling bucket of skin. Oh my god. Ugh. Just picturing the new changing effect. It's like, no, please don't associate that with the bucket of food. Wish they'd found a different picture of the Picard and Guinan for 10 forward. The one chosen is very clearly from the Nexus scene in Generations. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. How'd they get that? Holodeck recreation. I used to marinate chicken wings in jalapeno brine when I worked at Domino. Challenger is greater than Charger. Yes. I did write Challenger, not Charger. Oh, did you? You did write Challenger. All right, yes. Pumpkin spice, all the points to you. Sorry, my dyslexic brain said Dukes of Hazzard equals Charger. Anyway, both the Charger and Challenger have terrible interiors for such a badass car. Engine of a supercar, interior of a Hertz rental car. Peter the Caco, wait, what? New Duke series and not Knight Rider? For fuck's sakes. Trekyards. I see a new channel coming. Mark this day on your calendar, and instead of Trekyards, what is the closed caption always change Trekyards to? Trekyards. Stay tuned, my friends. Stay tuned. Captain in his classic Charger and a bucket of skin. Pumpkin spice. Yeah, the meat was tender from the marination. Starch wreck. Great name. 7 stole my toilet. Fleetpaw says the video, the Decepticon General Lee. There's actually 2 videos, but thank you, Fleetpaw, for sharing one of them. Cliff is here. Let's make a drink. Could be worse. Could be a bucket of fried foreskin. A bucket of chicken foreskin. Do chickens have foreskin? I don't know. Ew. Oh, okay. I'm really uncomfortable. Andy Magoo. They have a story about a chicken skin restaurant on F is for Family. Defiant 15E. Vatic is a former Borg angry at the Federation, and that's why she has no hand. It's where her attachments are. I like that. Also explains the scar on her face. Do chickens have foreskin? Let's make a drink. I mean, if anybody would know, he would. Mina Haroon, the bucket was Odo's thing. It was never established that other changeling used a bucket, specifically the same exact bucket. I was expecting her to find a makeshift bucket. Yeah, same here, 100%. With all of what you just said, I agree. They needs the same exact bucket because they didn't have enough roddenberries in this episode. You mean member berries. Trekyards would be cool. To be fair, every attempt at rebooting Knight Rider so far has been painful to watch. You're not wrong. Mina Haroon, the bucket was there seasons 1 and 2 before he even met the changelings and the Dominion. Yes, because he needed it. He needed somewhere to turn to his liquid form and stay like that to regenerate. Captain Casey Stewart, 1 hour in and already getting off topic. No, it's exactly on track. We're actually like a little behind. Usually it's about 10 minutes ago we would have started going off track. Stephen Fathry is here from Text Trek. How's it going? JMS blocked me on Twitter when I pointed out that Bashir and Kira can't be rip-offs of Franklin and Alana from BF5 because originally BF5 had a different Doctor and EXO who were very different. JMS, who's that? Trekyards? Foreshadowing? Anyway, Tracy Anderson, do you think there are any other changelings on the Titan? No, I think there's probably only one. Joseph Barbado. Nah, they tried to reboot Knight Rider once in 08, and it was meh. I watched it and supported it, but it was meh. Colin Barrett. One of the best parodies out there is, in my opinion, is the stalled Trek set aboard the USS Second Prize. Fleetpaw shared the link to the other video. Thank you. Brian Stewart, the interior of the 2015 and newer Challengers are fantastic. Love the wide-body beasts. Or love the wide bodies best. I like them thick. Joseph Barbado, besides, they can't use Val Kilmer anymore for Kit. That's true. Pumpkin Spice, Knight Rider 2000, Knight Rider 2010, Team Knight Rider, and Knight Rider 2008. How could they all go so wrong? Team Knight Rider was fucking disgusting. They need a live-action mask. Yes, Mobile Armored Strike Command for the win. She's controlled by that hand. When she chopped it off, her character changed and got all wimpy and scared. You're not wrong. Brian Stewart. Maybe they should have had one of those plastic litter boxes for the changelings just regenerate in. What would you think they're going to use? An orange Home Depot bucket? It's funny you say that because I thought the exact same fucking thing earlier today. When it's like, I wish the bucket wouldn't have looked so much the same. Yeah, it was just something in engineering, something for holding like liquid plasma or liquid like plasma coolant or whatever. Yeah, a Home Depot bucket. Did you see the Vulcan Calto? Yes, I did. For Peen, the bucket was just a spittoon from the holodeck. Vatic is working for Shinzon, who is still looking for Picard blood. Ooh. Did like that the Titan A has a Galaxy-class holodeck. It doesn't, though. The doors are the same shape, but they're not as wide. They're truncated, so... Pup Trip says, hey, pal. Hey, how's it going? I don't know who you are, but hey. Colin Barrett, they also did an Axonar parody called Axed We Are. Yes, they did. Matt Munn, I bet there are more changes on board. Why else would he become a low-level transporter operator? Mina Haroon, Picard should have said that the holodeck now uses almost no power runs on batteries thanks to Voyager's Doctor and his mobile emitter from the 29th century. That would have been better, I guess. Like I said, I do love, and I both love and hate the fact that it works on its own power cell for that reason. But, yeah. Oh, the Babylon 5 creator, Joe Michael Stranitzky. With 3 C's, right, Foley? Thick. Paul says, Vatic takes talk to the hand to extreme levels. Yes. Pumpkin Spice, 80s cartoon Centurions, 100% toxic masculinity. LOL, and the villain was basically a Borg. I never really watched Centurions, but yeah. Joseph Dworkin, sorry if this has been said before I joined, but Picard and Jack Crusher both being junior officers together seems to be a continuity error. In TNG, Picard seems way older than Jack. It does a little bit, yeah, but... SC Scout Guy, did you notice that the Vulcan crew member hugging another crew member on the holodeck? They seem to be showing more emotion in this season. Captain Casey Stewart, I was more talking about the black background with yellow lines for the holodeck. Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure. I don't even know why those showed up, considering the program was already running. But yeah, that seems to be a step down from like the Voyager tech, which was a little bit more advanced, it seemed. So, not sure if anyone's mentioned it yet, but the transporter operator sure looked like good old Miles O'Brien, in my opinion. I never noticed that, so. Peter the Cock with $2. Why was Shaw sharpening his knife? I mean, why not? You need something to do when you're sitting in your quarters in the dark. Eric Epperling, why not use the holodeck power cell to add much needed power to the ship? And I said the same fucking thing. Yeah, you need 2% more power to your thrusters. Access the holodeck power cell. Bradley Thomas, with only 6 episodes left, I feel like they're going to have to cram in a lot of stuff by season's end. 6 is enough to do a lot with. So when we get down to 4 and 3, that's like, please do something. Like in season 2, we were like, okay, you gotta do something now. Poke it with a stick. Do something. Holodeck power works on the power of plot convenience. Yes. Persephone, don't the transporter tech need to know how... Don't the transporter tech need to know the signature or makeup of a humanoid to properly transport them? No. That's what the technology is for. You just need to move the sliders, essentially. Pick the coordinates and move the sliders. Star Trek. How'd you escape the nebula? Space birth contractions. Daniel's Hot Topics. I love the guy who formed for Vadic's hand. It was like the Emperor from Star Wars or Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. Like Future Guy from Enterprise. We need more bad guys like that in Trek. Shaw is the brother of Vadic. Bradley Thomas. Why wasn't Jack Crusher ever featured in Tapestry if he was Picard's best friend at the Academy? Good question. Captain Casey Stewart. I always liked the Galaxy class holodeck and hated the Intrepid class. Me too. The TNG one seemed way more advanced with just the black with the yellow grid lines. I think like way more advanced than like what the hell was going on with Voyager. But it is stated that the Intrepid class was a newer design, more advanced holodeck systems, and therefore the improved hologrid. So they actually say in Voyager that the holodeck power cells are not compatible with the regular power systems in macrosm, I think. Yes, we've mentioned that a few times in this chat, yes. Mina Haroon, the reason I brought up the bucket being in season 1 and 2 of DS9 was to reinforce that it was Odo's thing, not his people. Also, the bucket was 100% Bajoran design. Yes, and yes, 100% agree with you. I'm sharpening a knife in the dark right now. It's no big deal. Don't enter. Don't enter. Colin Barrett, was it Voyager that used shuttles as backup power sources when the ship was damaged? I don't know if I remember that specifically, but it makes a lot of sense, considering that shuttles have their own power cells, essentially. Verpine, nothing says I don't want to talk to anybody like sharpening your knife in the dark. Perfect shot. Mina Haroon, can't believe his changeling had a Bajoran bucket. I know. Bradley Thomas, Laura Moriarty in episode 10. Oh no, that'd be awful. This season should have been season 1. 100% agree with you. 1000% agree with you. Brian Stewart, I think the changeling choosing an ensign was a good idea. More stealthy and less chance of drawing attention to themselves. It's also very true. What phaser power setting was someone using when shooting the changeling? One shot should have disintegrated the changeling. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing. Is the changeling just stunned or is it dead? Because it kind of has the glazed over eyes. It didn't convert or revert back to its like globular form, and it also didn't get vaporized and turned to ash. So I don't know what setting she was using. Maybe all power systems aboard have independent power systems that can't be tapped. No matter how bad the ship is damaged, they can still breathe and shoot stuff. I feel like Federation starships should have a changeling detection technology by now. 100% agree with you. After the Dominion War, yes. Will the Voyager A be in the Fleet Museum? Voyager A won't be, no. Voyager will be. Eric Epperling. Warp-capable shuttles have their own power, or own matter and antimatter systems. Indeed, so just hook them up to the ship. Good Tea Nice House. My headcanon says that a changeling got the bucket at Quark's Bar as a collector's item during their last visit to DS9. That's hilarious. Jake Workmeister, $5. What are your thoughts on the mechanics of the Titan A being part of the Luna class Titan? I guess I can see it, but it's a stretch. It is a total stretch. They do kind of explain it with the Instagram logs. The ship was getting refitted, and then they had to change direction like last minute or like halfway through. So they used components from the Titan, Riker's Titan, in the new Titan. It doesn't make any sense. They weren't really thinking or planning ahead when they thought about it, so that's a tough one. Captain Corky, 7 shooting the changeling did give me pause. If it's dead, it should have reverted to liquid form, and that did not seem like any kind of heavy stun setting. Yeah, right there with you. Joshua said it was nice to see Beverly demonstrate why she's not only a doctor, but rated to command ships as well. Christian Starling says, I'm a bit confused, though, about the Titan. It seems that the episode implied that the space frame is the 20-plus-year-old Titan class from Lower Decks, just completely gutted and refit as the whole new class. Again, the Instagram logs talk about that. It was Riker's ship. Riker's ship was in the middle of a refit. They decided to change direction with it for whatever reason, so they used the original Titan class parts in this new build, which makes it like a semi-refit. It's very complicated and confusing and doesn't make a lot of sense. It is what it is. So, Persephone, I figure that the changeling took on the identity of a transporter tech in case they needed to get technology and people on and off the ship. It's a convenient place to put an operative. Yeah, it's not a stupid place at all. It's better than the bridge almost, because you'd think the captain would be interacting with the bridge crew all the time. A transporter chief is just sitting in the fucking transporter room doing nothing half the time, not talking to anybody. So it's kind of the perfect place for them. SC Scout Guy, could they not have gotten the shuttles and towed the Titan with a tractor beam? In DS9, a runabout towed a big-ass Cardassian ship with a tractor beam. I mean, they could have, but they were in a gravity well, so I don't know how the shuttles would have fared in the gravity well. But, yeah, that's definitely it's a plot convenience script thing where the shuttles aren't a good idea, the transporters are down, all those different things, you know? And should they have gone to blue intruder alert once the changing was detected? Bradley Thomas, why do we have the feeling that the robotic octopus thing from the end of season 1 is going to wriggle its way up into the plot of this season? I don't have that feeling, and I don't want to see that, so be quiet, you. Let's make a drink. They didn't hook up the shuttle power supply because Bill Crouse didn't design it that way. There's that as well, yes. Tony Sussex, I like the episode. Glad there was no Raffi. I'm not sure what the whole Jack Stranger Things stuff is about. Yeah, it does feel very Stranger Things, doesn't it? Like the Upside Down. Huh. Yeah, that ending was very odd. Very odd. Captain Shaw, the Grease Monkey, can't wait till he meets Geordi, the legend. The fact that the Titan had to be completely rebuilt, just Deanna got her hands on it again. Oh my god, that's awful. Verpine, I guess they could have swapped out the Titan bridge pods. That's all that makes sense to me. It would explain the music list on the captain's chair. I don't think it was the captain's chair. I think it was just the main computer, because you don't really listen to music at the captain's chair. You listen to it in your quarters, wouldn't you? Mandel71, I wonder if Q will ever come back. They had a door motif in season 2, and now they have another door in this season. I thought it was odd. I mean, Q, or John Delancey did say that he filmed for season 3 as well, so we'll have to see. Picard was already an ensign in Tapestry, and out of the Academy, it's likely that he and Jack Crusher had separate postings when Tapestry took place. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Mandalorian Din Djarin descended from Captain Cristobal Rios. Damon, okay, late to the stream, but has anyone discussed the picture of Picard and Gunn in the Nexus during the Picard's flashback? Yes, it was mentioned. Stupid picture to have, but like we said, how did they get that? Holodeck recreation. Perfect. Hey guys, did you know that Crash LaForge's dad is a legend of an engineer? She says it every chance she gets, changeling or not. Wouldn't throwing an asteroid at the Shrike have slowed down the Titan when it needed speed to escape the nebula? Yes, because he does say activate the whatever thrusters, and that slows them down to swing the asteroid forward. But they're already far enough out at that point because you could already see space, like stars. So they were already like on the outskirts of the thing. So I miss the Worf and Raffi myself. Say what you will about Raffi, but her and Worf bounce off each other brilliantly. I agree. She's much better this season. I actually really enjoy her character this season, and her teaming up with Worf is great. I'm just glad it wasn't in this episode because it would have slowed things down. Next episode is going to be heavily focused on them and them getting to probably Dyson Station, which would be fantastic. But I think that's what the next episode is going to be. And then episode 6 is the money one for Trekyards. We're going to be super busy with that one because things might happen in that one. That's all I'm saying. Colin Barrett, I think if Q is in this season, it will be the final episode as it bookends TNG nicely. Yeah. Showrunner indicated that Guinan commissioning the painting, not a photo. Oh, okay. Terry tweeted it. Terry's got the answers. Good Tea Nice House. Wouldn't it be cool if the gestation period for the Farpoint creatures was exactly 36 years and those space babies were their offspring? Well, that'd be great. I get the feeling they're not the same ones from current Farpoint. They look completely different. It's updated effects. Okay, whatever, sure. I don't buy that for a second. I know he says Farpoint, but he's referring to creatures similar to the ones they ran into at Farpoint. You would think there'd be quite a wide variety of space creatures out there. It's a big galaxy after all. So I don't think they're the exact same, but that's just me. A lot of people are like, it's updated effects. They're obviously the same ones from Farpoint because he said Farpoint. Yeah, okay, whatever. Star Wars Land Speeder on car yards. Enterprise E Dune Buggy on car yards. Jason, this season pisses me off because it reminds me that we could have got with seasons 1 and 2. I know, right? Just ignore seasons 1 and 2 and move on from there. Sylvia's here and says, I can hear the puppy. Yes, she is snoring behind the camera. They both are. Well, all three are here, but Sylvia's here, everybody. The Admiral. Jonathan Earl, these changelings look different. Well, their liquid form looks very different. Maybe a different species of changelings from Odo. That's what we're hoping. I hope there's an in-universe explanation for the different morph effect because it looks fucking atrocious and disgusting. And a lot of people are saying it's the same with the space creatures, space jellyfish. It's just updated effects. This is how they would have done it in the 90s if they could have. It's like, no. The one in the 90s, yeah, it didn't look super great, but it looked fucking good enough, and it looked, the gold shimmer, the shine. Like I said, can you imagine the Great Lake, this lake of like gold shimmering liquid? But with the updated effect, it just looked like a lake of liquefied, gross meat and fat. Fucking disgusting. What was the purpose of having the portal weapon? They stole the portal weapon to cover up the theft of something else from Daystrom Station, which was more powerful of a weapon, and it very likely is lore. Star Trek, Troy should offer to help and pilot something this season. Everyone jumps and says, no. I'd fucking pay to see that. Matt Munn, it's funny seeing Worf having to talk down Raffi because she's too amped up. It's a good combo so far. I can't wait to see Daystrom Station. Should have some cool ass shit. So is episode 6 we're going to finally see the ship museum? Maybe. I can't say too much because it's classified. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. I don't know what the space squids are, but they're really cute and I wanted to give them all puppy names. I like this episode and the Titan and agree that it was necessary for pacing purposes, but definitely looking forward to more Rappy and Worf next week. What is the big plot point of episode 6? I can't tell you. I can't ignore seasons 1 and 2 because I need to account for the time I wouldn't get back. Oh, wow. Meat Jello changelings are the best. Listen to the pug. Colin Barrett, it is no longer the Great Link, it is now the Great Septic Tank. Oh, that's fucking disgusting, and yet accurate. Joseph Barbado, I read online that Michael Dorn said in an interview that he's up for a Worf show. He's been saying that forever, though. Changelings are basically sentient motor oil. Review them on car yards. Mina Haroon, I believe these changelings are sick. Side effect from leaving the Great Link and not getting the cure or parting gift from the Link to tell them apart from other changelings. I like that, and we've talked about that quite a bit. Because they left the Great Link is why they look like this, or they've had to meld or become part of another former shapeshifter to maintain their... Yeah, I'm fine with that. Speaking of the Admiral, Stewart, did she like the brownies? Yes, she did, very much. We have one box left. We've made a lot of them. So yes, she did. Thank you, Fleetpa. Do you think we'll get see the portal open again? It should just be floating around where Strike left it. Possibly. I wondered that myself, if they would just go and get it, because they have to sit there for an hour and fix their power core. So will they scoop it up before they come back? I wouldn't be surprised. Beheadings are on Wednesday. It must have been Thursday then. Bradley Thomas, Captain Foley, poll for tomorrow. What do you hate more, Discovery Klingons or Picard changelings? It's a good poll. MLP Death Dealer 32. Been a while. I'm still not sold on season 3 at the moment. Sorry to hear that, man. Persephone, I think they broke lore out when they blew up the recruitment center. I guess Moriarty is going to be needed for the lore storyline. That's the theory. Did you guys have an advanced screening of the show? No. We deliberately didn't request one because we like the speculation and the fun of seeing it week to week. Yes, it's frustrating, but you got to think over the last year and a half, a lot of behind the scenes people know us, like us, respect us, and have shared things with us. Peter Lukaku, how dare you? So we've known a lot of stuff for like a year and a half, little tidbits here and there from various different people, which has been hard to keep quiet. So no, we haven't seen any of the episodes. We're not sure what the storyline is necessarily, and we're not quite sure where it's going, but we know some of the things you'll be seeing, especially when it comes to ship and other things. So that's all I can say. I'm predicting that Moriarty will help Picard and the crew of the Titan somehow against the villain. Yes. If the Great Link is still sick, Bashir's cure did not help. Peter Lukaku throws in $20. Is your throat dry, Captain? Time for a drink. Yeah, you know what? I don't have anything, and if I get up, I'm going to disturb the dogs. Peter Lukaku, I'm asking your permission if I can just have a drink of my water so I don't have to disturb the dogs. If I get up and go downstairs, they're going to get up and follow me, and it's going to be a whole hubbub, and they're going to want to go outside, and they're going to want to do this and that. And I should have had more alcohol up here. So I'm asking your forgiveness, Peter Lukaku, if I can, or to you next time, maybe. I just don't want to upset the puppies. Star Trek. I would have died laughing if Worf showed up in Discovery, makeup, and couldn't talk through his prosthetic teeth. It'd be so stupid, I would have been mad. This season is awesome. It was a good episode. Matt Kuig, who's first super chat from Matt, but he's retracted his message. So thank you for the super chat, Matt. Much appreciated. And celebration and cheers on your first super chat with us. That's awesome. Persephone says it was the best episode thus far for Picard. We'll agree with that. I think it's on par with for me, it's. We'll see. We'll see what the scoring's like tomorrow. But Peter the Cock puts in $2. Okay, fine. And he's yelling at me. I'm sorry, Peter. I'll make it up to you next time. Colin Barrett, I got a great kick out of the Shaw telling someone to steal the changeling pot. Do you mean weed? No, I wish. Jonathan Earl, episode 4 of season 3 Picard was totally awesome. Eric Epperling, I think these first 4 episodes could have been done in 2 hours. I'm not going to lie, I agree with you on that one, 100%. Fleetball, all the episodes are getting progressively better. Peter says, next time you have to do a Tom Hanks cherry Coke champagne. No, that seems very complicated and a lot of things I have to buy. No. Bradley Thomas, I'm gonna send a bottle of Romulan ale. I get a case across the border every once in a while. It's good for medicinal reasons, don't you know? It's good antiseptic, according to Jack Crusher. Dionysus Larson, good morning, Cap and everyone. Cool that I actually made it for a live. Not on time, but hey, I made it. Yeah, and just kind of at the end, actually. So, but good to see you, regardless. Broken Speaker, $5. Holy smokes, a real episode of Good Trek. We could have had this for 3 years, not just one. James Wilson, loved Shaw's take on the cutest had a name. That's trauma. A Borg so important that they gave you a name. Yeah. And I agree with you, Broken Speaker. This should have been season 1. This should have been like the season 8 of TNG. And then, as season 2 goes on, season 3, filter out some of the TNG people and bring in the new people that were in season 1. That would be the logical way to do it. Well, last episode was better because they didn't waste any film on Worf and Raffi. They have been consistent with the high 8s to mid 9s. This episode was a 9.7 just because. Did you just throw an asteroid at them? You're goddamn right I did. Brian Stewart says, got a jet. Night, Captain. Good night, Brian. Good to see you. Persephone says, yeah, I know. Shaw was thinking I could use a big fat J with 7-set cannabis. Yeah, absolutely. Mark Haroon, how did Picard's wine end up in the holodeck? He should have walked in with it. He could have it programmed, not that it's his ship, but I'd have it programmed that if I had a bottle of it in my quarters, whenever I activated that specific holodeck thing of the bar, it would just beam it from my quarters to behind the bar. That's what I would do, but that would not be the case here. Captain Foley is going to hit the floor after this live ends. No, I won't. Dionysus, ha ha ha. Well, it's still cool that I could say more than bye. Peter the Cocker, $2. Keeping it real for Squadricourse. Oh, thanks, Peter. Sure, Squadricourse would appreciate that. Colin Barrett, after seeing only 4 episodes, I am more than happy for Terry Matalas to be handed the keys to the Star Trek franchise and let him do whatever he wants with it. I agree. Damon says, I hope they can create a spin-off series with Jerry Ryan and some of the new characters we will see. Assuming she wants to do that, but yeah. Matt Kogue, $2. How old are those Neo-Constitution class ships? The Constitution class 3, I'm not sure. I think they're relatively new, though, from what Terry had said. Eric says the holodeck Picard wine was the bottle Picard gave Shaw in episode 1. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's amazing. All 4 episodes have been close in quality. Hard for me to say which is best, but they have all been good. Jonathan Earl, still have no idea what meant when they said that we will see 2 Enterprises this season. Did they mean the actual ships or the little models? I've seen plenty of Enterprise D models, and XO1, and etc. 2 actual Enterprises, and I know which ones they are, so... Actually, you'll see more than that. You're going to see 4. At least 4, I think, Enterprises. I'm not going to tell you which ones, but I think you're going to see 4. Fleet Pal Swiftback throws in $2. Hashtag we want to see a Titan series. Hashtag Shaw and 7. Hashtag Titan A. Matt Munn, Picard's Vineyard clearly has a licensing deal with the holodeck manufacturer. Persephone, I think this is the second time Picard has offered his vintage during the show. Are they promoting it for sale in real life? Probably, yes. But it's been turned down twice. Shaw's like, nah, not really my thing. And Jack, nah, not really my thing. So, not really a good endorsement. Picard offerings why not getting rejected is going to be the season's running gag. Yeah. I almost forgot about the Eagle Moss Enterprise C in this episode. Yes, there was, yeah. Philip Lemon, when do you think they will put the Titan A into Star Trek Online and how? Lockbox, free rent, or MUDs? Not sure how they'll do it, but it'll be probably the end of the year. I would say like December-ish. It takes them a while to get those stuff rolling out. They just rolled out the Texas class from Lower Decks, the automated ship. They just rolled that out. So it's been a while since Lower Decks ended. Sorry, the pug is being loud, and I apologize. Should changing Sydney have lost her form and disintegrated upon death, or should someone just stun her? Yeah, she should have. She should have died or been disintegrated, and she wasn't either. So she's probably going to be around next episode. Maybe they'll be interrogating her in the brig or something. Mark Lawrence, $5. Early day for me tomorrow, so I've got to boldly get the hell out of here. Take care, everyone. See you later, Mark. Thank you for joining us. We're going to see the Enterprise D, F, NX-01, and the G. Oh, fuck, you almost had it. You almost had it, good Teen Ice House. Mina Haroon, what happened to the Eagle? What happened to Eagle Moss? Oh, they went bankrupt, but they also just got bought out by Master Replicas, so they will be coming back. So just be patient. Shaw's comment about 40-year-old nacelle covers is interesting. It is, yeah. Pug chopped a good one. Okay, first of all, it's not a fart. For fuck's sakes, it's a snore. I don't know how people get confused. It's a pug. They snore a lot. And if they fart, it's never a loud fart. It's always like, oh shit, the pug farted. It's disgusting, but it's not loud. Like, they don't have ass cheeks. That would be a great product. Booze, in the words of the yogurt. Spaceballs. Merchandising. I had a feeling those extra large, bulky, complicated-looking nacelles of the Titan A had some kind of special ability. It helped them get out of the darn nebula by absorbing energy. One day we will have the Obana class. I would die happy if the NX Enterprise with the secondary hull was at the museum. Be prepared to die happy. Maybe. I don't know. We are trying to get you drunk enough to spill the beans on some stuff. Well, I need to go get another bottle, and you need to super chat more. 4 Enterprises. My guess, NX-01, the A, the E, and the F. Oh, fuck, you almost had it. Also the saucer for the D. All right. Pugs, the silent assassins. Enterprise NX-01, A, D, E, and F. Oh, fuck, so close again. Man. One thing I did notice in the commencement ceremony was a statue of Rachel Garrett of the Enterprise C, the thing that I wasn't sold on the design of Herodotus' ship. It annoyed me that we had to get this far for at least decent Trek. I still don't trust Kurtzman if he's still connected. He has very little input these days. Cap, what do you think of the theory of Riker on the Titan is really from... What? What do you think of the theory that Riker on the Titan is really Tom Riker that took Will's place? Not at all. They wouldn't do that for the last season that you have the TNG crew together. They're not going to they're not going to do that. No. Stupid idea. If I had to choose 2 Enterprises, it would be this season in Picard. It would be the Enterprise D and the NX-01. I'm not going to entertain any more Enterprise guesses. So... we will have to see. But I'd say episode 6 is where you're going to be looking for those, but I could be wrong. Just saying. Anyway, let's see. We're at 214 likes. That's amazing, guys. I would ask for 6 more likes to get to 220, or another 1 like to get to 215. Either one would be great. Phantom 1990. Anyway, which enterprise is your fave? Definitely the TOS Enterprise or the refit. Depends on the day. They kind of interchange. Refit's up here on the screen. The TOS is here, and I got multiple other TOS ones. Actually, this one's a Strange New Worlds one, but so yeah, the TOS one is my lady, or the refit. So there's also one behind me there and one there. There's a lot in this room. But I'm going to call it there, guys. Almost at the 2-hour mark. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. Peter Lukaku, I do owe you a shot for the next live. Next late night live, which will probably be Wednesday for The Mandalorian. If you're here, if you're not, I'll wait till next Thursday to the next Picard one. So I apologize for not having enough alcohol up here, and I will make it up to you next time. So, but I got a little dog here that wants to go outside, so I need to go. So thank you very much to everybody that joined us, everybody that super chatted. I appreciate and love you all. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you guys later. Until next time, I'm Captain Foley. Live long and prosper, everybody.